You are listening to
Top Dog Classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, we are here, another episode of everybody's favorite motion picture Talk About the Classic.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm here, Sam's here, Dave's here, Becca Maliki is here.
Hello.
She's the chimer. She's going to be chiming.
I'm here this time.
Am I clear?
You're all clear. I actually did a little test when you guys were inside making cocks.
Okay.
So we got that going for us. Sam, I noticed you have these new benches here. No one's sitting on them. And I know this probably didn't occur to you, but I'm like, why the hell is no one using these benches? When did you get these? We're outside.
We got some benches in July. We got some benches. For sitting on them.
Let me ask you this. Betrayal, backstab. Why didn't you buy them from my wife who sells furniture for a living?
Shit.
Oh, I need a software engineer. Maybe I'll go to Bobby Johnson. Oh, I need some wine. You know, I should go to that woman, Karen Dumbass. I need to stay at a hotel. I'll go to Super 8 Motel.
Sam's a software engineer and Becca sells wine.
And Dave runs a hotel.
And if you don't know these things,
you didn't.
if
use
you
the
don't know
CEO.
these things by now, then you should probably leave the show because you're not going to like this. Unless you've been listening to this for a long time.
You know, that's a really good point. Does she sell outdoor furniture?
She does, yeah.
Shit.
She actually sold all of, Danny Reed of Hot Stuff Tattoo. She sold him all his outdoor furniture.
Oh,
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not the stuff at the tattoo shop.
They don't have a lot of outdoor furniture at the tattoo shop.
We messed up.
No, I'm just saying it as a joke. And Becca's like looking at Sam, mouthing. She's like, "We didn't know. We didn't know." Where did you guys get these?
I don't want to say.
Come on.
I don't want to
Walmart, Lowe's,
Amazon.com. You can tell
It
us.
must be something corporate.
It's a topic.
It's douche. This is douchey. It's douchey.
Douche.com.
Douche.com.
What? Just come on. You got to tell us now. Because the people at home, they need to know.
Yeah.
This is kind of a tell-all podcast.
Ingles?
It's the West Elm.
West Elm.
Oh.
Okay. That's a
Yeah, it's West
respectable
Elm.
brand. I don't think that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Becca's shaking.
There's more to this story than just we bought stuff.
I don't want to toot West Elm's horn. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. They did us dirty.
They're very dirty.
You know, and also West Elm is one of those sponsors that have been like, "Hey, can we sponsor the show?" I'm like, $1,000 an episode. They're like $700. I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." So, you guys tooting their horn is like a free ad, right?
Yeah.
So F them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's one of those things. Now you know. So you guys can just go ahead and get a refund started on these benches now, and then
Yeah, I'm just really glad that the feng shui that I was really working on
Is it feng
is
shui?
like- is it
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was feng.
I think
Feng-
it's
feng shui?
Feng shui. Yeah.
feng shui?
Yeah.
You know,
Way to use a big word incorrectly in front of everybody.
Sam's like feng shui,
a big
feng
word.
shui.
It's 4 letters.
Actually, you know what? I didn't know that it was one word. Is it one word?
It's 2 words.
Okay.
It's 2 words.
2 words.
It's
yeah.
spelled CHING, CHUNG, CHO. No, that's not right. Racism. Okay, but today we have a very special way that we're going to start this episode, and this is something that we've been talking about for a long time.
I'm now slowly removing my pants.
Dave's taking off his pants.
That's the beginning.
It's going to start with Dave's penis, but we're going to start with. A lot of people have been speaking out. People have been speaking out for a long time, but this is the first time. As you all know, we haven't been able to find the phone number in about 3 years. Recently, we found the phone number. We put it on the YouTube channel, and we put it on the Instagram, the MySpace, the TikTok.
We're on MySpace.
We're on TikTok. We're on everything. So we have, looks like 4 voicemails here, and I'm going to play the first one.
That's surprising. We didn't know anything about this.
Well, it's something I've been working on.
You've been working on the voicemail.
Well, full time. I've actually been working full time on trying to acquire voicemails for us. I've been sending out sales letters, doing a lot of Google AdWords. Send us a voicemail. There's flyers around town. But here,
So you did all that work, and we got how many?
we got 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's about
respectable.
That's about 4 months of work. So we'll listen to the first one, and just see if it's a question, if it's a comment. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. A lot of these are gonna be Dave oriented because I feel like Dave has
the most number of fans.
Well, I
He's
would
the star
I
of the
would
show.
say that
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say that, and also makes the most people angry. That'd be my theory.
So,
All press is good press.
Dave, have you listened to these before?
No, I haven't.
I'm the only one. I've actually
Guys,
this
when
is a new-
you're as popular as me, it's hard to have time to listen to voicemail.
So actually, I've only listened to one. So there's 3 new ones since then. We'll start with the first one, just see where we're going. Okay, let's see here. All right.
Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you.
Hold on, one more time. Let's hear that.
Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you.
It's like a guy saying "fuck you, Dave." That's
Yeah.
weird. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
That must be spam. I'm sure they're not all like that.
That's cool.
They're talking about
I
a different
really,
Dave.
I really like to encourage free speech. I respect everybody's. I want people to speak up. You know.
What do you take away from that voicemail?
How would you answer his question?
I think that he's probably an angry, confused
MAGA person.
young man. Yeah, he's probably,
was it a
he's probably
question?
a
Was
big
he like,
Republican.
fuck you, Dave?
Yeah, I think that. Can I fuck you, Dave?
Yeah.
Here's a real
gay
one.
young Republican.
Let's see if we can all hear this. Okay.
Okay, I have a couple comments and a couple questions. First comment is, I really love Dave a lot, but he can be a real dick. And that's one comment. Another comment is, sometimes I feel like Sam doesn't get enough airtime because Dave takes over. And let me see. I kind of want to know if Dave wants kids. And
Okay.
okay, I think that should be it. And then Charles has a comment.
Wow.
All right. There you go.
Those are all really good questions.
I think they're really good. I think the first.
I think there was only one question. The other ones were pretty much.
the other one was like first one was an observation.
Just invective.
Yeah, they were all.
So this person loves Dave, and also he can be a dick. So I guess let's. No, she said dick.
I thought you said bitch.
Yeah, dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree with the dick
So
part.
me too. But I'm wondering. I guess we'll have to figure out. Elaborate. What do you think that could mean? That you can
What?
be a dick sometimes.
I think what
Kinda
happens
snarky.
is I think what happens is that people sometimes get jealous when somebody else becomes so successful and famous, really. And that's really all the time that I feel like I need to devote to that question because I have so many other
Well, it's good because obviously this
Obligation.
person's opinion now is swayed. You're not a dick at all. So that's
No.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
good.
So clearly they're a fan though. So you were right about that. So far,
Yeah.
one voicemail proving your theory of everyone loves Dave.
Yeah, that's true.
Sam, it looks like one of those was geared towards you. Do you feel like you don't get to talk enough? That we talk over you? This is a nice little therapy
I
session.
talked over you.
No, I think did she say Dave? Oh, she did say Dave. Okay. I mean, I do it too.
No, I actually don't feel that way. I like the pressure's not on me to, really carry the podcast, and I can interject whenever I feel comfortable in sort of tearing Dave down at my pleasure. So that's
Exalt
really
yourself, tear me.
yeah.
I just knocked over a beer. This is a lot for me right now.
His face
experiencing a
is
lot of
full
emotions.
pistachios. His beer is flying.
I'm eating my feelings in calories. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just like
I
you're
just
like
dumped a
stress-
bag of pistachios.
You're like stress eating pistachios after that.
But maybe I have a manifesto ready, and you guys just don't know.
Interesting.
You just don't really know.
Interesting.
We're like,
know?
Sam's so quiet. He's so nice. So the last one was a comment.
Well, no, the second to last is
Oh.
do you,
Oh.
and I think this will run over to Sam and Becca too. Do you want children? Why or why not? Was her second or third.
No, not really. Maybe it depends. It depends on if it'd have to be the right person, I guess, the right guy. If a guy wanted to commit to me and also commit to us adopting a child,
Right.
No, it would have to be just, I guess, the right situation. I think with marriage and kids, I'm just so neutral on it that it would have to be somebody else really wanting to do it, and then I could be like, maybe okay. But I thought about this the other day. I'm answering this seriously. I thought about the other day. I've thought of the first reason that I'd ever really want to have a kid, and it would be to be able to show them Jurassic Park for the first time.
Oh wow,
I thought about that.
That's touching.
I was just like, I would love to, and then they have to be a little older too. But I would love, and then so maybe at their 10th birthday or something, I'm just waiting, putting up with this shit child till their 10th birthday, and then I get to show them Jurassic Park, and I'm like, okay, get the fuck out. Because that's all I wanted him for anyway.
Yeah, I can really identify with that, Dave, because I feel like that would be sort of the only reason I would want to have kids would be to like introduce them to things that I know something about. You know, whether it be like, you know, teaching them how to throw a baseball for the first time,
Sure,
or like teaching them how to play chess, or like, you know, getting into like different hobbies and stuff. Because like that's probably like my entire life was just learning hobbies, you know? So like that would be like kind of really interesting to me. But at the same time, what would you do if they genuinely despise the thing you were trying to show them?
Yeah, I've thought about that.
So what if you showed them Jurassic Park and they absolutely hated it?
Yeah, no, I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about like the idea that it would be kind of like karmic a little bit. The fact that I strayed so far from my dad and my entire family's like Judeo-Christian values, that I would have the kid who's going to be like a big MAGA, you know, dude, and he's like, fuck arts, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
chicken.
Yeah. It's really easy to just to assume that they're going to really dig whatever you dig.
Mm-hmm.
But if that
No,
doesn't work
yeah,
out,
completely.
then that's not really, that's a nightmare.
That
right?
leads me to that makes me think of like, you know, Dave saying Jurassic Park, and then you already went into it, but I feel like saying Jurassic Park, the way you elaborated, Sam, I mean, wanting to have children to pass on your knowledge and, of course, subconsciously your genes, everything you've ever loved and known is basically the human race's like physiological drive to
Well,
have
you have
kids.
kids.
I do. Wait, you're right. Hold on. Wait. Okay, that's
Chris,
true.
when since when?
But see, I can't really answer this question because even though I always wanted to have kids prior, now I already have them, and so it's hard in retrospect to say to get out of my mindset now. But I guess
Do you still want them?
I actually recently tried to go back and not have them. And the abortion clinic. Well, the abortion clinic was like, not only is that late of the trimester not a
It's
thing.
too late, you're saying?
Well, yeah, they're like, that's not a thing. It's never been one. And even if it was early, you can't anymore in North Carolina anyway. So
Yeah. They just
It's not
recently
legal
did-
anymore, is
right.
it? To abort like a
Yeah.
7-year-old.
When I left, I was like, yeah, I can't abort my 7-year-old because the new abortion thing,
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Yeah,
guys.
totally.
But yeah, I mean, that's a good question and a good answer because, you know, I think some people would answer like, I don't want to have kids because it's hard and it takes a lot. But answering with, you know, is your official answer, and Sam and Beck, I want to get your official too. Your deep.
We are so narcissistic.
But wait, your date.
kind of in a way that we're like, I love this thing. I need to have another mini me who also enjoys this as
But
much
it-
as I
Right.
do.
But my
yeah,
point-
yeah, it's not healthy. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
it
No,
is.
I don't
pretty
think so.
narcissistic,
I don't
I
think
guess.
so. I think your answer is actually what I was trying to say. I probably put it poorly. Is actually, if you boil it down, the default reason everyone has kids, which is to pass on. So even just saying Jurassic Park, there's a million things you could think of like that: music, bands, albums, knowledge, like everything that you've ever loved, or you know, like I think that drive is a real answer that people subconsciously have kids.
Yeah.
Whenever my kid misbehaves, I'm gonna lock him in the bathroom when it's dark and just play Radiohead Kid A, like 3 years old, maybe.
You're going to force tattoos on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna
probably.
force tattoos on him.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna be like,
and
"I've
you're gonna
got
be like,
him, you
go
can-"
to a dive bar. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I want to hear Becca's answer to this question.
I was the only one who was asked. I just want to clarify that, but you can go ahead too, Becca.
Well, okay. Well, Sam already won, but so I'll just
It's good
say,
that you're both on the same page. I hope you guys are. I don't know if you've talked about this.
I know. Can you imagine? We're just like rehashing
You're
this
like,
all on the air, just like
um,
crying silently and like dying inside. No, I actually am mostly I do not want kids.
Yeah.
But back to what you guys were saying, how you want to instill, like you just want to show your child
just
Jurassic
that one
Park
movie, and then I'm done.
for the rest of your life. Like,
Yeah.
but that was like the definition of my childhood. And I think the only reason why my dad was okay having kids and moving out of like New York City into like a New Jersey suburb And we were just, I mean, me and my sister are named after Hitchcock films. Like, there was so much film being shoved down our throats growing up. And it was mainly like my dad trying to.
Sam, didn't you say your dad was shoving something else down your throat when you were growing up?
I was literally, when Becca said that, I was like, thank God I don't have the mic, because I would ruin this moment.
I knew Chris didn't have it, so I had to do it, Chris.
But anyway, he wanted us to be like me and my sister and my brother to be so much like him. And I think we kind of resented that a little bit growing up. Like, we were always.
That's like every kid, probably.
Yeah.
Did he want you to be like him, or did he want to just show you the things that brought him joy? Not necessarily him to be like,
I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah. I mean, like, who he is basically his hobbies. Like, he managed a movie theater. He went to school for film. Like, that was just what it was. And so, like, we always kind of like, oh my God, like, here's daddy trying to force stuff on us, but like not like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but now
at
both
the
you
same-
and Marnie say that you're appreciative.
No, then when we got older, I actually became really appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, brainwashing works.
very true. Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Freddie says the same thing. Freddie, who's been on the show, really, really annoyed and resented that his parents made him train karate his whole life because he didn't want to do it. He was young. And then, a better example, Lyoto Machida, professional fighter. He had to wake up before school every day, do karate, fucking hated it. So annoying. His dad made him do it. And of course, like, as an adult, he's like, greatest gift anybody ever gave me.
Right.
Making me do the hard thing I was too lazy to do. I just wanted to play video games,
Yeah.
So yeah, I see that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad now, in retrospect, that my dad made me go to countless hours of church.
yeah, it's like I guess for like
learn
one
learn about this guy who didn't actually exist.
yeah, see, I guess there is the dark side to that. If like one in maybe it's 50-50, maybe 50% of people are like all those hours of martial arts and sports and chess and literature and talks of wisdom really paid off. I'm a good
Yeah, well,
person
those are
for it.
hobbies. I was in a cult, so I guess they're
Yeah, I
like,
guess that's true,
they're like
yeah.
kind of different a little bit.
Right. I guess that
I'm
they're-
like, thank God, Dad, like put me in a sex cult when I was younger. I get it now. I get it.
if
I get
only
where he was coming from.
if only he would have put you in a sex cult, and he's like,
Yeah.
the only way to find God is to have sex with all of these women, David. Like, you would have looked
No,
back and
I
been
would-
like, thank you.
No, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, but-
is that a good? How do I sign up for that now?
Well, there's I think there's like countless Netflix documentaries about such cults. I think from watching
Yeah.
Danny watch stuff.
yeah.
But
No, I'm down.
so, Dave, was your official answer? We've been in circles, but you basically, if it was up to you, probably not. But if you met a woman you were in love with and she was
Yeah,
like, I really need to have kids, I really need to, you'd be like, yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah, I'm flexible
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it. I don't feel like I don't feel like it's a need or anything like that.
Right.
I,
You'd
my
have to really
biological
like her,
clock
though.
isn't ticking or anything.
Right.
Guys can do that shit until they're. Is there an expiration?
There
date?
is an expiration date. Yeah, there is.
Is there really?
Yeah, there is. Like past a certain age, not the same as women, but you can be too old to have. Like, you can have less healthy babies and then probably not get women pregnant.
Oh, okay.
That's like a
Oh,
misconception.
well, if I have a less healthy baby, I'll get to experience maybe what having a baby is like, and then it'll die.
Right,
And so I'll
exactly.
be like, we tried.
Yeah, what's cool about that
we
is
gave
that
it a shot.
you can ask the doctor.
It's like-
You can ask the doctor, how old would I have to be where my child is age appropriate enough to see Jurassic Park, but then is unhealthy enough to kind of keep going? And he's like, are you friends with that guy who wanted the late abortion thing? Because you guys have got to stop coming in here.
They're like, we are very progressive, but you're making really strange requests, even for us.
It's funny. That reminds me of what you were saying. We have a friend, I'm not going to name names, who his dad was extremely progressive. He instilled in him very progressive ideals and made him like really embrace like his own progressive politics and kind of life outlook. And then when this guy was in college, he did the rebellion in the other way and became really into hunting and really into kind of like aggressiveness and really into, he kind of did the opposite.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of people like Dave who go conservative to liberal, but it's fascinating when people go liberal to conservative, That's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam, you and Becca's
Very
official. I'm just trying to wrap my head around. Official answer is
I think we are 80% no, 20% yes.
Sam. Is that ratio fit the bill for you?
Yeah, I mean, mostly not. I mean, I think like the only situation where it would happen would be if she was, accidentally was pregnant and we, like if her birth control was like 100% effective, then we wouldn't have kids.
I think
Right.
that's actually the most romantic. Is you're like, we're not planning to have kids. We're not going to have kids. If she accidentally got pregnant, I'm not going to like snipe this baby.
I'm not going to say 100%. That,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Exactly. Because you're like, if and Dave would say, being raised Christian, if God wills this, then let it be. Let it.
Well,
be.
the will of the
I
Almighty.
mean, that's how I was born. I mean,
Max was born the same way. Me and Danny had a conversation. Jokes aside, should we keep this or not? But we decided like we're too old and too good of friends and in too healthy of a relationship. Like why not? Like what could be like this could be
Right,
our
right,
child. You know.
Yeah. I mean, for me, my parents both were told by doctors that they couldn't have kids.
Right. Oh,
So
interesting.
they weren't even trying to, like, they weren't using contraception because they thought it was impossible.
Right.
Um,
That's funny. Usually
Yeah.
it's one or the other, but both is pretty
Both.
interesting. Wow.
Yep.
New idea. Maybe we could like start a petition to get doctors to tell a lot of people, like in my small town, that they can't have kids.
Right.
And but they think it's a medical reason.
But
They're
Dave,
like,
here's
"It's
the
just
here's the
not
flaw
gonna-"
in that logic.
Yeah.
The very few in our hometown who do use condoms would stop because they think, and then more of them would have children.
yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Right.
Flaw in my plan.
Flaw.
All right,
Flaw.
we got to keep going through this.
Okay, so next voicemail, Lori. I hope we answered all your questions here. I guess this is the last voicemail, technically. Oh wait, there's one more after this one. This one looks like might be geared towards Sam Alema.
Hi, I'm calling in regards to a topic you recently discussed, I think an episode or two ago. And Sam, one of the co-hosts on Talk About the Classique, mentioned that he doesn't wash his hands after he uses the restroom. And I can't remember if he said he does, but I don't think he washes his hands before he uses the restroom either. But I do want to say, if he does wash his hands before he uses the restroom, that's great. You should wash your hands before you use the restroom and after you use the restroom. Because despite how clean you think your dick might be, the fact of the matter is that your genitals hang out right next to your asshole. Your asshole's very filthy.
That's true.
Even if you think you've wiped it very clean, used a wet cloth, whatever, take a shower right after you take a poo-poo. Your asshole is full of a ton of bacteria. The
Yours
bacteria, and the
specifically.
reason people smell bad, actually, is because the bacteria on your skin digest fluids on your skin, such as semen, blood, sweat, poop, anything that might be on your skin. That's what's happening with the reaction. Bacteria digest that fluid and they fart. That's what creates the smell that people think is BO or like vaginal odor, ball odor, like that musty smell. So ideally what you would want to do is go to the bathroom, wash your hands. If you touch your penis, you want your hands to be clean, obviously, because your penis is a very delicate instrument. So wash your hands, hold your penis, go pee. After you go pee, definitely wash your hands because your penis is not as clean as you think it is. You just want to lay that out there right from there. So, wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. And you are correct in that you shouldn't touch the door handle in the bathroom, though. That's good. You should wait for someone to come in hours if you have to. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Sam seems like a really smart guy, but in this instance, pretty stupid. So yeah, wash your hands before and after you go to the bathroom and touch your penis.
Blood,
I love you.
semen,
Bye.
poop, and sweat. Those are all things you guys said you use as lube whenever you're getting it on.
My go-to scent when it comes to cologne.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's a really good point.
That's a good consideration.
Uh-huh.
Does that new information change how you're going to be going into these situations in the future? Are you gonna...
Well, I just want to point out, and I'm not sure if this detail was like, I really appropriately fleshed out this detail, but when I pee in a public place, I don't touch my penis.
You do the flip out.
I flip it out, Yeah, and because I unbutton my pants completely, I'm not just using a zipper.
Same.
Okay, yeah, and so it just falls out naturally. I mean, it like sort of unfurls.
And I've actually heard it fall out before, and it goes like,
Yeah, it kind of hits the ground. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
like a Richter scale.
Right. Yeah.
3.2.
Yeah. It really
I don't know what the
splashes
Richter
into
scale
the urinal.
Right.
I have to avoid that. Certainly.
Right,
That is not cool.
that's your
That's
issue.
disgusting.
This
Right.
is also more evidence that Sam has a big dong. He just unzips his pants and it falls.
but I
out.
will say,
I have to search for mine.
yeah, you have to
I'm
look
not gonna
for
lie.
yours.
I have to go through.
Right.
I mean, I'm not even kidding. I wear boxers, but I have to fumble in there and,
Right.
and stuff and get things out.
And
I
that's
don't pull it out and it goes.
But that
like-
could be, but also that could imply that your penis is so large and hangs down so low
Yeah,
that for you to flop it out, you'd have to pull your pants down to your
Yeah,
ankles.
yeah.
Sam's is so short, maybe that he just,
Nice Kellyanne Conway alternative facts right there.
yeah, and
for
he
my-
Sam possibly just barely pulls down, and then he goes, you know. But I will say, like Sam,
I can't
I am the
fucking do
same.
that.
I do wash my hands before and after, just based on my own neuroses. But I do the I touch my own pants, so I do button, zip, boxer brief, pull down. I
Yeah.
never touch my own penis.
Right.
Actually, I've never touched it before.
Wow.
I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know what it looks like. Yeah, so that's fascinating. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Good. Whoever that caller was, never met any of these people. Complete
Yeah, I don't even
strangers
wanna know who they
calling
are.
in.
And often I will accidentally do what the caller is suggesting, which I will just go to the restroom because I want to wash my hands before my meal.
Oh, yeah.
Which is usually more important than like peeing or whatever. And then once I'm in there, I'm washing my hands. I'm like, you know what? I could pee.
Yeah.
And so then I go pee, and then, well, I might wash my hands, but who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Interesting. So our penises are dirty no matter what. Good. Thank you, caller, for calling in. And that here's the last voicemail.
It's a great question.
Great question. A great comment, I guess.
Hey, Talking Books. This is Mikey Huff, long-time listener, first-time caller. Hey, Sam. I don't wash my hands either. With regards to the cheesy popcorn, Dave, you know they make like cheese popcorn. You know, you can just do that. You know, I just don't. You know, I see if you melt the cheese, it just coagulates on a couple kernels. I don't see it like getting all over the popcorn. You know, they got the powder cheese. You know, you can just put that in there.
cheese.
Or, you know, actually I saw at Walmart the other day like a Twix seasoning, which I guess would be for desserts if you wanted to go like the dessert popcorn route. I like caramel in my popcorn. But I digress. You could, I mean, I guess what you're trying to do is like substitute like cheesy popcorn for nachos, maybe. That's what I'm
Nacho
thinking.
popcorn.
Maybe Cheese Whiz. I mean,
Cheese
shredded
Whiz.
cheese probably go a lot farther in covering your popcorn.
Yeah.
Ah, a
no,
lot of
no,
good,
no,
it's
lot
not
of good
that- no.
observations. here.
Weird,
I've tried it.
but whatever. I like PB&J personally. Jelly first, then peanut butter. All right, guys.
There we go. What do you
Brilliant.
think? Actually, I think that was also a good, you know, whether Dave has a good rebuttal to that. That's a good point. Shredded
Yeah.
cheese could go farther.
Right.
More
Yeah.
of a spread.
Well, the thing about the cheese on the popcorn, the American singles, on the thing that he's talking about is taking some Kraft singles after the popcorn's popped, and then pouring. What I do is I pour like half of the bag in, take a few divided Kraft singles slices. I mean, like little pieces of the slice, and put it on different parts. Then I pour the rest of it in there and do the second layer.
Maybe this caller, it would be clear to them, how many slices of cheese do you think you're using total?
Like for a whole bag of popcorn,
35,
like it's
36.
like a single use bag of popcorn,
Right.
like a little tiny like party mini thingy.
Microwave bag.
Yeah, but no, not a full one. It's like a little. It's like a self, like a what do you call it?
Individual size?
Yeah, individual.
See,
They're smaller.
I ate the regular one to myself.
yeah,
It's
they're
not that
they're
much.
smaller. They're smaller.
You're counting calories. Classic Dave.
counting calories.
Counting calories.
Well, that's the thing.
I like
so-
that he's counting calories and he's adding an entire package of Kraft cheese
No,
on his popcorn.
it's not much calories. It's like a
Interesting.
Kraft single. What do you think? You guys want to know anything about calories? Okay, how much do you think a Kraft single
I know
is?
a lot about calories because I'm a girl.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. How much
Unlike
do
you,
think-
Dave, who acts like a girl. She's a literal girl.
How many calories? This is like the calorie Price is Right. How many calories do you think is in a single slice of Kraft American Singles cheese?
It's been a while since I checked that, but isn't it 35 or
It's-
40?
It's like 50. It's
That's
Ooh,
surprising.
very close.
I would
Very
have.
close.
I
And
would
she
have
didn't
said
go over,
5.
so Price is Right. She
Yeah.
would have probably won.
That was pretty good.
yeah,
That was
it's
good.
50 versus you know how much is in a tablespoon of mayonnaise? It's about 100.
It's well, depending on the brand, it's
It's
about
insane.
It's about 100 for Hellman's, and
Yeah.
for Dukes, it's 110.
yeah, it's pretty insane.
Damn.
So we know
That
which
is
one is better.
fucking
I
So
will just
for
say
two
that.
slices, which is I guess what I would use on like a thing of popcorn or whatever, it's 100 calories. The bag is like 150. That's like 250 calories. That's like eating oxygen. Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Here would be my take, and again, this is going a little too deep
But,
into nutrition. I was just gonna say, we don't have to go down this rabbit hole again. But your problem is not the calories. Your
The
problem is not the
process.
fat. Your problem is the processed
Yeah.
vegetable oil, which is present in Kraft Singles and also my store-bought microwavable popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
When you could go a beautiful avocado oil mayonnaise. Eat 5 tablespoons.
No.
You might get a little bit of fat in there, good fat, and you know
Yeah.
what? You're not getting cancer from that vegetable
Chunky
oil.
bunny. Yeah.
Yeah, a healthy chunky bunny. Meanwhile, you're a skinny lad dying at the age of 50 years old. Have fun.
Well, I was gonna say I've also it's basically I don't think of it as anything that's healthy. That's for sure. It's kind of a snack, but like it's also the same thing as like when you go to McDonald's and you're getting something that it's not supposed to necessarily be healthy. It's the texture and it's the taste. The shredded cheese, I've tried it. It's not the same.
Not the
thing.
same texture.
Yeah, it's not the same texture as I had when I was a kid. And I'm just telling
It's
you.
because the vegetable oil in Kraft Singles is what gives it that like creaminess.
Yeah, well, it's so here's the recipe, and I'll do this very quickly. The small bag of popcorn.
I mean, I think we got it, but
the
you
small
go
bag
ahead.
of popcorn. You put it in there for about a minute and like 15 seconds, minute and 15 seconds. Then
Wow.
you take it out. It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
And so because you don't want to burn it or anything.
You don't
like
wanna
that.
burn
You
it.
still have some kernels. You get those out. But just and so you pour half the bag in. A few Kraft Singles, pour the other half bag in, a few more Kraft Singles, and then you put it back in for 15 seconds, and that's the end of it.
Interesting.
I did that. It's a very short recipe, but that's how you have to do it.
Maybe on the next episode, if we do some video, you could actually make some on live on the show. We
Yeah.
could kind of look at it, inspect
It's
it.
great, and I you guys judge me, but it's one of the best snacks in America.
Wow, in America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we all know Dave has a very like America first kind of thing. So like, I mean, thank you so much, callers. Those are all really great comments, great questions. That's crazy. We've never done the voicemails. People have been speaking out.
Yeah.
Wow, that was incredible.
We had to cut it off. You had like 50 more in there.
Well,
which is-
there were so
we
many
had-
more.
we had to stop it.
Yeah, there were a lot more, but yeah.
We got to answer the people.
We have to answer the people because the people want to know.
We haven't even gone to topics yet.
Yeah,
It's been
isn't that
about an
crazy?
hour. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And some might say that the reason I came up with this idea is so I wouldn't have to come up with topics, but no, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, so what's new with everybody? I was going to say, Sam, the only thing I could say that's new with me is my kids are about to go to school, and my youngest is about to go to school for the very first time. So for the first time for me in 7 years, I'm like gonna have hours of the day where I'm not with kiddos because I work from home,
Right.
which is wild,
Yeah,
Woody, he's starting preschool, and he's freaking out about it because he has anxiety, and he'll just be sitting there on the couch, and we're like watching a movie, and he'll go, "I don't want to go to school," and we're like, "Oh, Woody, it's gonna be so fun," But
Yeah. What
I
does
just wanna
Max-
say I'm
what does
surprised
Max
that-
say about school. Is he like coming from school every day and he's like, "That was the worst day of my life"?
no, not at
Yeah.
all.
There's no way.
Max
Max has got to be a cool guy. Cool kid at
Max
school.
is very
Yeah.
social. He's very outgoing. The only time Max complains is like he's kind of like me and Danny in that he hates waking up early.
Yeah.
So he'll bitch a lot about like in the morning. But
Right.
overall, he likes school, and he's like, Woody, it's fun. You meet friends.
Okay, so he tries to help.
Yeah,
him.
he tries to help for sure.
Yeah.
I think Woody's more like separation anxiety kind of stuff. He's like a little fragile. You all know Woody.
Yeah.
He's a fragile little boy. He's sweet,
I have a feeling Woody is going to be the musician
Yeah,
of the bunch.
a lot of us, have
which
been
might
saying
be
that.
which could possibly be a little bit of a lonely existence at your, in the early years. I'm just thinking about stuff that we all went through.
No,
you
but
know?
Woody, I mean, I think that's true. I think Max is the more classic older brother. I'm outgoing, and Woody's the younger brother. I'm a little bit more introspective, which tends to happen with the order of siblings and stuff like that. Only children, of course, is different. What's your order again, Becca?
I'm middle.
So do you feel like that you were less outgoing, more introspective than the older sibling?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just, for lack of better terms, I feel like I'm in the middle.
Balanced.
Yeah,
Kind of perfect.
Marnie is definitely more outgoing, very outgoing. You all met her.
Dave, have you met Marnie?
Oh,
Dave
I've met
knows Marnie.
You have. You know her.
Marnie.
Andrew, he is a little bit more. He's more.
No, he's
boisterous than
outgoing.
I am, but he's outgoing. Actually, I think I'm the most quiet
Yeah.
out of all three.
Which
Yeah.
is like a classic middle child thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, so that's basically the only thing new for me is trying to. So tomorrow we're going back to school shopping, trying to get Woody kind of pumped up and stuff. Oh yeah, it's super fun. We're like back to having kids. My life is so much more fulfilled than all three of yours with all the all the fulfillment, and we don't have to go into that. But we're gonna take them to get new backpacks, pick out their pencil boxes. Oh, we're going. Oh yeah, we've been doing clothes. Tomorrow's more like what pencil box, what lunch box, water bottle,
Back to school shopping was my favorite. Like every year was like a new way to kind of invent yourself. Like you kind of had a little. My parents would just kind of give me like, hey, you're gonna get a couple new shirts, couple new pants. You had to make like outfits. It was the best. It was the best. I don't know.
Your Trapper Keeper. You got a new one.
What was the brand with like the Trappers where there was like holograms of like
Lisa
tigers?
Frank?
Well, there was Lisa Frank for the girls.
Those are the ones you had.
No, well, those are the calorie counting ones. When you were a kid and you were counting calories. You were like going through the line. You were like they're like, today it's chicken nuggets and peas and mashed potatoes. You're like, how many calories are those mashed potatoes? You're like,
Do you have any Velveeta
I'm like
cheese?
trying to tell the lunch ladies about popcorn and cheese.
I like how you started it on me about Lisa Frank, but I immediately tried to just turn it around on you for calories. No, but what was
I know. I remember there were just it was like this. It was almost like pre-vaporwave, right?
It was. It was. Yes.
I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
It was like 80s, like space.
Yeah.
Purple.
There's
neon,
a lot of purple, pinks, neons.
Things flying.
Yep.
I wonder what that style was.
There
called,
was
'cause
like
it
a
wasn't-
jungle, but it was neon. And there was
Vaporwave
a
kind of
hologram.
co-opted it a little bit, but like what was that?
Do you guys remember book socks?
No.
Wait, book sock? You talking about?
Like what you used to cover your textbook so it didn't get all like. Do you remember like those like?
I remember.
I never read any of mine.
I remember like making paper textbook covers.
Yeah. So only like the porn kids.
That was me.
But you would buy these nylon slip, and they called them book socks. That was like a
Okay.
very
I've
90s
never heard of this.
thing.
I've never heard of
That was a
that.
very 90s thing.
I think we were when we were in school in the '80s, younger. Maybe that hadn't hit hard at that point. Because I don't think I
I just
saw
had some
those.
books. I don't know.
You had some books.
Yeah.
Well, because Sam, you said that like when you were
Neither
in,
one of us were in the 80s for very long, though.
Well,
it's a little bit
but,
like
no, but Becca's almost 10 years younger than us, so she would have been 10
well, she
years.
said very 90s. We're still. I mean, you're what, a year older than me or something?
I'm a year, so I'm 39.
Yeah. So I would have been 6'90", and that's where my memory
But think about but when
starts,
she
so.
says 90, she's probably thinking she was like in high school.
She's like
90,
99
right?
corn, like.
So Becca graduated
freak on
middle
a leash,
school in
yeah.
2015. So that means
Yeah. Well, her,
No, what I'm
yeah.
saying is like you guys are what? You're 7 years older, or 6 years older than I am.
Oh, I don't know how old you are.
And so like I had book socks when I was in elementary school. So no matter what, like you'd both be.
You keep saying book socks like it's a real thing.
because it is a thing. You look it up.
Becca was just insane, and she's like, "My books are cold; they need socks." And people were like, "Becca, stay after school, meet with a psychiatrist."
Yeah, people they're like sending a letter home to your parents. They're like, she won't stop talking
It
about
could have
book
been.
socks.
It could have been a female thing. Maybe Danny has heard of book socks. It could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so that's basically all that's been happening with me. Book socks has been huge at our house.
I'm just
But-
thinking of all
I
these
feel like I must have been raised. I must have been like way more poor than I thought I was. You know.
Well, Well, Sam, remember you
Well,
said
no, I mean, my I was in elementary school in the 80s. Like my
Right, this-
entire elementary school
1880s.
career
Yeah.
was in the 80s.
Right.
I'm just saying. I mean, like I had some books.
Because
I
your
had a book
buddies,
bag.
your buddies
I had
buckwheat
some
and
notebooks.
alfalfa.
We didn't do some fancy back to school shopping spree.
But
you
you
know,
told
it
me
was
you carried all your books with like a belt, like a strap, and then your friend Huckleberry Finn was like, "Let's skip school."
Your
today
family
and
kept
free the
talking about
slaves."
like how it was going to be easier to get to school because they were eventually going to invent the T1000. What's the fuck? I fucked the joke up.
You fucked
No,
that
what's
up.
the name of the car? God damn
Oh,
it.
the Model T.
Model
I like that somehow you confused.
I said T1000.
I like it. You were like, I like how you confused a futuristic assassin with the original car. That's good.
the Model T. That's what I meant.
All right,
yes.
so that's what's been new with me. Becca, what about you? Anything fresh? Anything worth mentioning? If you don't have an answer, don't worry about it.
We just came back from Costa Rica. That was it. And that I guess you were so offended that we didn't say anything, but I feel like we did say something.
I don't know if we did. I don't know.
I was offended. I was like, for about a week, I was kind of irate and I was like breaking glasses. And I was like, all I kept saying to my friends is, I want to go to Costa Rica. Let me know if anyone goes. I would love to join. And
I think it was a good idea that we kept me out of the pictures too, since I went with you guys and we didn't tell Chris. Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
So obviously, Sam, yours was Costa Rica as well.
What are we talking about again?
What's new? What's fucking new? I just want to know if there's anything notable that you're like, I want the people at home to know this has been going on in my life recently.
We got these benches.
Ah, the benches. Oh, the betrayal benches.
that
The
nobody's
betrayal
sitting on.
benches,
Betrayal
yeah.
benches.
Yeah, these
Sam literally
benches.
bought benches and none of us are sitting.
There's
well,
a reason.
Me and Chris aren't
There's a
sitting on them.
reason. Yeah.
Because it's on principle.
Yeah, but Danny told me, she's like, if you sit on those fucking benches, I'm not having sex with you for a month.
We need to go there immediately, though. I feel like we should go there.
They do have a cool outdoor section.
Are they open on Sundays?
They're open every day except Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably why you didn't get
But
the
she
benches.
works on Saturday, yes?
She works on Saturdays.
We'll have to go next Saturday.
Yeah, check it out. Have a good time.
Oh.
We'll
Get
figure
your
it
apology
out.
ready.
Any
You could
Saturday.
rehearse it
Shit.
on the rehearsal.
She's going to be like, we have these beautiful benches. I'll give them to you basically for free. And you're like, yeah, the thing is, we have the benches.
No one will sit on them. But...
Dave, what's new with you? I know there's lots of new things with you. I know one of my topics here is just organic. I'll bring it up here.
Yeah, no one knows what this topic
What
might
was
be.
it? You were saying something about like Tinder recently. Something happened where I can't remember. There was some story.
I feel like it's just this kind of slapstick thing at this point where I'm just kind of like it's like the dating segment for the single guy.
Why don't we-
You're like, we're in love with our forever partners. Dave, how's the dating scene?
No, wait, actually, oh my
For
God.
a
I just had a
lonely
great
asshole.
Listen, I just had a
Embrace it.
great idea for the structure of the show. We'll stop at the person who is the most, what would you call it? The furthest point of towards death, which is like I'm no,
Well, that would be
think-
Sam.
No, look at no, but yeah, well that would be
Wait,
Sam.
the furthest point.
Well, let me finish. I guess what I mean
Furthest
is
point
like
from death?
successive milestones. So I'm like, let's talk to the married guy with kids, and then it's like, let's talk to the couple with the home, and then it's like,
Yeah.
and trickling down the mountain
Trickling
of
up, trickling up.
accomplishments, trickling down the mountain of accomplishments. Dave, what's what's dive bars and dating apps? And we kind of just go down that way.
You're like
Down.
Down.
You're like, what's it like to be the Joey Lawrence, like crushing beer cans, waking up in the morning with the hangover, dude? Like, blah, blah, blah. You still got your Corvette from the. Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
What's new?
What's new related
Well,
to
no,
Tinder?
I was just curious because you had brought up something to do with Tinder.
I don't know,
can't
man.
remember.
I'm at this point where I'm on my journey, just, discovering the babes. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be single until I'm not, until it's right.
Of course, yeah.
you know?
You're on your own journey.
Yeah. And dating apps. And, there's now.
But wasn't there something specific with Tinder you were going to bring up? I can't remember the question. I was like, how's Tinder? And you were like, funny story.
Funny story. I really,
'Cause
if you're
you can't-
trying to give me something, I really
You can't use it anymore. Something happened.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
I'm just see
I'm
now I'm
sorry.
the guy when Dave was like back
Sorry.
here with tattoos and he's like pointing at like posters.
Yeah.
And he's like, talk about the fucking topic that we discussed.
No, yeah, sorry. Sometimes when we're not recording, we'll be like, "Oh, that's a good topic," and I forgot. So on Tinder, I decided to. I was looking through my pictures and stuff, and I was like, "What's a good picture like of me?" And I was like, "I'm ugly and old now. You know, when I wasn't that ugly was when I was a kid." And so I got this picture. I got this picture of my.
You're like, who do I want to sleep with? Older men who like kids.
Yeah. I just feel like it sets off the right, like it's the right type of advertising. So I have this picture of me as a kid, smiling, with not all my teeth, holding up a Chinese checker board that I just got for my birthday, and
Becca can't breathe.
and it's soup, and it's like really cute, and I know.
I'm actually very aware. I'm familiar with this photo.
The
I've seen it a million
Okay.
times. Love the
yeah,
photo.
and I'm just like, you know what, babes that see this are gonna melt instantly, and they're gonna be like, right. But I'm just kidding. But so I put that up, and I logged into. I put that up as like, I don't know if it was like my main picture or it was just on there, but I like tried to log into to Tinder, and it said your account has been suspended indefinitely, and it didn't give me any reason, and and so I was just like, what the fuck could have possibly happened? And I started thinking, like, did somebody just randomly report me because I'm sending all these nudes to everybody that I match with?
Right.
I'm not. I'm just kidding. I've never been disrespectful.
Well, you said you would send. You would be like, which photos do people want to see the nudes of most? Me as a child, and you would send them. You would send the photos.
No, but I've never done anything even like remotely inappropriate.
Right.
So
it's clearly an algorithm.
Yeah,
some
and
AI
I basically
photo
I just looked
analysis,
up all the rules and different stuff, and one of the things was like you're not allowed to have pictures of children on there.
Right.
And it's amazing that was detected right away.
Yeah.
So
You could have just wrote them. I'm a baby face. I have a baby face. So does that mean?
So I tried to email them and stuff, and
Yeah.
they were. I mean, to their credit, they were. There was no way to get back on Tinder.
Right.
I tried to. What do you call it?
Make a what is it called? Appeal.
Yeah, I tried to make an appeal, and they just like were like, no, the decision's final. And I'm just like wondering, like, do these people think I'm a pedophile? Is that like?
Well,
I was gonna say the algorithm must be in place to prevent child pornography. A, but B, you know, it's probably more general in terms of like no people under the age of 18 as the sole photo of you. You know, it's probably column A, column B. I
Yeah.
would say.
I guess I just don't know how Tinder works, but
Crazy.
is there no workaround of how you could?
There was
is
only-
it like
There was a new
only-
email address.
There was
right?
only one. So yeah, I figured that part out. Yeah.
Oh, so you are on Tinder?
Yeah.
I love it. See, that's funny because I'm glad we brought that up.
I wasn't gonna be completely honest, but
Dave
yeah.
Dudber at yahoo.com.
Well, it's funny because last time we talked about this, you were like, there's Grindr, there's Bumble. You were like, or whatever. Actually, it's funny because I said that on accident, but you did say that in real life. which was crazy.
You gave my secret up on accident.
Yeah, on accident. But you were like, there's Bumble, there's Hinge. That's what I was
there's
thinking of.
Tinder's the worst.
But then you were like, you know, Tinder still has like such a popularity. I still got to rock it. So you
It
just made
does,
it. What,
yeah.
new phone number or new email?
just a new phone number.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, new phone number.
No, a Google phone.
Which is
Google
what
phone
people
number.
call it on the voicemail.
A VPN on my phone.
Nice.
So they can't trace.
So
it.
you've really
Jesus.
down
This is
on it.
crazy. This is crazy. Wait,
So-
Dave. So I'm really genuinely curious. Like, have you gone on any dates without using an app? Like recently? Like, do you
No.
ever go to a bar
No.
that's not part of a date that you've already?
Well,
No.
remember, Dave has
Okay.
said on the show that even though he's good on dates, good with women, as we all know, he's never,
never
even
said
before
that.
dating. No, remember, well, I know that you are, but you said on a show that even before dating apps existed, you weren't the type of person to go up to a random girl and be like, how's it going?
I've
Yeah.
never gone up to anybody.
But
and
of course,
just,
but I mean, your current version of yourself. I mean, you have so much experience going on dates now. I feel like you would
I
be
don't have
primed and ready.
I don't
just
have
to show up at a
experience
bar.
in initiating a cold conversation with somebody that I don't know whether or not they're interested in going on a date or if they have a boyfriend or if they're gay.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it requires more of a I think like a longer.
I've never been rejected. I would like to keep it that way.
No, you
Oh.
on a previous
Yeah.
episode you said you were for the first time. but
Oh,
girl-
that's
that-
true.
yeah, for
But it
the
was because
first
of a
time.
dating. It was a dating app thing. That,
Right, exactly. Yeah, you've never
Yeah.
been rejected from a cold call, like a cold
Yeah,
approach.
I've just never tried.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Cold call.
I'm 0-0.
Interesting.
I think being rejected might help your
I'm
dating
sure
game.
it would. I'm
Probably.
too scared to ever go through
But-
it.
you know what it's like. I'm teaching.
I'm
my,
already almost 40. I'm
that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because Dave has even said before, you know, when he was living in Grover and we were younger, he was late to the game of like, you know, as he said in previous episodes, blooming and coming to his own socially, moving to Asheville, blah, blah, blah. So the years where he would have been like at bars, striking out, hitting it up, like he kind of came into the game when the dating apps were hardcore, even though he dated girls back then, obviously. But you know, it's like that's just the way it is now. So I guess everybody probably just does it that way. I don't know, but right, like that's
No,
just
this
the
is
way-
why
yeah.
I bring Chris along. He explains it for me.
Yeah,
so.
I explained
What
it to
he
girls.
said.
Yeah, when but
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm glad you're back. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that part.
Mhm.
That's new info.
Yeah. So
So yeah, cruise along these topics. We're really hitting them up. Sam, this goes into a big one here.
Oh, shit.
Sam, Becca, Dave. Now, Becca, you're a little young here, but I'm curious
not as
because
young as my Tinder profile pic.
zing, bringing it back, taking the power back. But Sam, you know I've been experiencing this. Dave has too. Have you guys been approaching
Hemorrhoids.
any midlife crisis hobbies, or have you already gone through this? This good, not that we're like, you know, about to die, but you're like, I'm getting into something I used to be into, or I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna go. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I've been teaching Max how to skateboard, and now I'm skateboarding again, buying skateboards, learning, like,
Okay,
relearning
so the key
skateboarding
detail is that skateboarding was something you did as a kid.
as a kid.
Okay,
right.
and now you're sort of resurrecting it.
Resurrecting it under the auspices of Max. This is really fun, and he fucking loves it. But I'm
Right.
like wearing baggier pants, getting skate shoes, like relearning how to ollie, like going to skate parks. Me and Zach are like buying new boards, like getting new trucks.
Right.
And I'm like, this is the classic example of like a midlife crisis. You know, doing something that you did when you were young. Or maybe, side note, you wanted to do when you were young, right? Is another thing. Have you been through this?
I would say, I mean, like sort of D&D has been like that for me, I guess.
Right.
A little bit, and then, I don't know. I mean, I like really got into watching movies, but that wasn't a thing I was into as a kid.
That doesn't really count as a midlife
Yeah, that
crisis.
doesn't count
Because
as a-
movies could be for any age, right? So
Yeah.
D&D and skateboarding would fit midlife crisis, I feel like, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, I would really like to. I was sort of fantasizing for a little while about
Cocks.
No, I was about to say little boys. I go, I couldn't get it out.
I was literally looking at my phone and I cocked.
You
I
said,
had- I-
you
like,
definitely said
something-
eye cocks.
Something,
Yeah.
something.
he was uploading a new photo to his Tinder profile. No, but I was just gonna. I was like relearning a musical instrument because I grew up
That's a good one.
playing violin.
That's a good one.
I was piano lessons, and I've been listening to a ton of classical music recently.
Right.
And so the next step would be private lessons, violin, piano, something like that. Definitely, I don't know if I would call it midlife crisis, but yeah, definitely calls back to me as a kid.
When Danny and I recently were in Raleigh, we did our first swing lesson. Like we.
Ooh, all right.
So this is funny. So Danny.
Getting saucy with the other couples.
No, not like that.
All
That's the
right.
obvious joke.
All right.
You don't really
You
need
knew
a
it was
lesson.
coming.
I knew it was coming, and they knew I was coming. Let me tell you. But so we had this conversation in the car. We had this Lindy Hop lesson. Danny's mom, got it for us as a gift. It's something we've always wanted to do. We danced for the wedding, and Danny was a dancer. And we got back from the swing lesson, and we were like, "This is such a classic. Like, I'm almost 40." Things unfulfilled in my life creatively that I wish I would have done. I'm going to pick up these new hobbies. Now we're swing dancing. And you're like, we're an older couple swing dancing. And it's like genuinely fun and cool. But it's also, it hits that kind of funny like thing. So I was like, I got to ask people about this topic.
I'm just
new,
thinking-
you could call them new hobbies in your old age, but I would also, that could fit under the genre of like midlife crisis. But
I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of the Venn diagram between swing dancing and swinging.
I know.
And how,
Well,
how closely
No, we
maybe
talked
they
about
are
that.
kind
We
of
said, I bet there's a lot of crossover between people, these weird couples who are like, they're pretending that's like, it's 1935 and what dancing to swing music. And they're like, and we're sharing my wife with the large cocked gentleman next door. That definitely happens. But yeah, I don't know. Dave, any new hobbies since you've been older? I know dive bars is obviously a new hobby. Dive bar Dave
Yeah.
is a new joke.
Yeah, I mean things that are pretty boring. As I've gotten older, I've gotten like a little bit into gardening and stuff.
There you go. That's a good one. There you
Yeah.
go. But
very
that's
good.
also, I would say, a hobby for old people. So
Yeah.
it's not really. But I mean, swing dancing is too. I don't know. What do you think? Does that fit the bill, Becca?
Well, as you said, I am a little bit younger, so I haven't reached my midlife quite yet. Because no, I'm just.
How old are you, Becca?
I'm 31.
That's
so
cool.
yeah, so I'm not feeling pressured to start anything like I'm missing out on.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that if I were ever, like you just said, music for you, Sam, and then skateboarding for you. I mean, mine would be art. Like art was very prevalent. Getting back into art. Like I just don't have time for it. It actually depresses me whenever I go into like an art museum. It makes me weepy.
It just makes you envious and sad.
Yeah. So I mean, I can imagine if I had a little bit more free time that wasn't so consumed with, modern day work mentality, the hustle, the grind. I would like to paint and draw, but
Oh, I want you to do that.
Mark my words, when Becca gets close to 40, it will begin. It will begin.
No, I
You'll
actually
start doing landscapes in Brittany, France.
Yeah.
we were actually just looking at our second home.
Second home. Well, that's
It's a dream.
there's
It's
a
dream.
Brittany, France.
Brittany, France.
a region.
So they're actually
Okay.
Becca and
Yeah.
Sam have
And-
gotten into the swinging culture, and
Yeah.
Brittany, France is a girl that's been coming over.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's
All
pretty
right.
hot.
Yeah.
No, I actually did think of an answer, and I guess I guess this would probably be pretty relevant in a weird way, but music and like starting to actually like play music and wanting to start
Well, you just put out an album.
a musical career at pushing 40.
Right.
So that's a funny thing to do.
That was like when I started this
Yeah.
topic, I was like, this is going to organically lead into Dave talking about that, which is a good thing, like classic.
Is that something you try to talk about when you're meeting someone for the first time, or do you avoid like talking about
like
music
a
at
like a
all?
woman.
Yeah.
No,
When you're
no.
it doesn't come up.
Oh, no, I mean, it maybe, but no, it's nothing that no, that's like a secretive kind of part of my life. I feel like something that I feel weird about, I guess, but which is the reason that I'm starting so late to actually be like, I want to do music, and I'm like graying and like on life support, and I'm like, it's gonna be a hit album really soon. But yeah, so I'm at the point where I'm just like
Interesting.
doing something 16-year-olds would do, where they're like, posting flyers at like a music shop, and they're like, we like Metallica and Led Zeppelin, and like we're looking for somebody who vibes. And I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. So I just the other night like went to a show
At
that's
Fleetwood's?
at Fleetwood's here in town, and there's this band that there's this speaking of apps, there's an app where you can connect with musicians. It's called Vamper, and basically I connected with somebody who's been in bands before and stuff like that, and he ended up starting to play with this band. He said, come see us tonight. And so I went out there, I met him and everything like that.
Did you guys have sex?
We didn't, but it might happen soon. But basically, I kind of went there with like this like sinister intention of poaching like him.
Ooh, juicy.
And I also had a really long conversation with their drummer, and we were just like talking, and I was like, "Hey,
Do you have to wait till the other members aren't standing there, kind of, to like?
oh, they weren't around.
Oh, they
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
around,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's almost like I'm just like, it's almost like Not that they're cheating or anything like that, but I'm trying to swoop in.
Well, it's
Because
funny,
this
yeah.
was literally this band's rhythm section, their drummer and their bass player, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like,
It's the two things you need.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
drummer
yeah,
is like the
exactly.
hardest thing to find.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So if you can find a drummer.
So,
But I mean, people are in multiple bands. That's not weird.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
But so it's basically me trying to figure that out. I'm like, hey, young kids, like, you like music? Me too. Want to play some rock and
Did
roll?
you give them your album?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's it's not like that anymore. I don't like. I mean, I guess you could hand somebody a
okay.
CD, but it's like Bandcamp. You just show somebody.
But I just feel like
Oh, so it's not
I
your
fe- I feel like
Spotify link, it's
Bandcamp is
Bandcamp?
not the same thing.
Bandcamp is the thing you share.
Oh, interesting. Huh?
But
Yeah.
anyone can have the bar. The bar to be met in terms of having a Bandcamp account is essentially you can create an account on the internet. I mean, you could be 5 years old.
Oh, I know. That's why somebody
So-
just has to listen to it and be like, I hate it or I love
Right.
it. Or
But so wait, you don't have any physical copies of your album or anything? Okay.
Nope.
That really would separate you.
But if
from
you think
just
about it,
the-
though, no, that makes sense. But if you think about it, if every
I don't know if that would I don't know if that would separate me. I had a physical copy of my rap rock band when I was like 15, and I didn't feel separated. I didn't feel any higher up than anybody else. I mean,
yeah.
And I guess if all even popular musicians who play in a lot of bands who do gigs and stuff or tour, whatever you call it, like if that's just the way it's done, whether it's your 15-year-old who can't play or a band that's amazing, if they listen to it and it's amazing, it's all that's all the proof, I guess.
Yeah.
You need. Now that's interesting, like because you've always done music your whole life, but you're saying the equivalent would be that you're doing it for real now, trying for real. Trying for real at this age, so it feels like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've had certain things like not going up and talking to a woman ever at a bar or not doing music. I have a lot of inhibitions, and I'm trying to finally get over them. So yeah.
Dave, I will
Hey.
just say that
We'll take a question from the audience now.
that Ruby Weapon is on my repeated liked songs for
Really?
Spotify. Yeah, and I'm not embarrassed to say I'm a younger generation. I guess not really. We're in the same exact. But I am.
What gen are you?
We're all millennials except
Oh,
for
we're-
Sam.
Oh, we all are.
Well, technically, you and I are Gen Y, the cuspers, and Sam's straight
what's the
Gen X.
edge?
The edge is like 82 to 85 is the cusp.
Oh.
Technically, but we're still kind of millennials.
No, sorry.
in a
What's
way.
the edge on the opposite extreme?
61 is Gen X.
No. Sorry. Of millennials, what's the cutoff for you? Like, for how old or how young can you be?
How young? I think it's 94.
Okay.
I play Ruby Weapon for the kids all the time, and Danny and me. I love that album. That's a
Oh
great
yeah, I'm
album.
fucking
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Nobody's
amazing.
debating that
Actually,
I am the
right
best
now,
thing
what I'm gonna
to-
do, I'm gonna
since
cue
the
in
sliced of
I mean,
bread.
it's not like you're like I can't play music and I'm gonna try. I mean, you're anyway. You hate compliments. I'm not gonna even do it, but
Oh, yeah.
you're fucking good.
But
Whatever.
I know lyrics to your. I know your
You
lyrics.
do? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I sing along
Oh, my
when I'm
gosh.
driving. Just so you know.
That's-
Again, I've said it before. Stellar Remnants is my favorite song by
That's
you.
very
There you go,
nice of you
Dave.
to say.
There's
not
Well,
even
one
your
thing
most
that gives me
popular.
hope is, do you know another musician who just started when he was like 40? John Lennon. And that's all yeah.
Wait,
Oh
John
my
Lennon was
God.
40.
Yeah,
I thought
he
was,
started when he was 40.
Oh, that's
and-
interesting. I
yeah.
thought he was in his 20s when the Beatles.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, him.
What?
Yeah. But no, there
Yeah.
are people.
I don't wait.
I don't know why-
think John Lennon lived to.
I think
to
that
40.
I think that was such a hot take that we were all like, but
You're like really? Boy,
I
Beatles
go,
started with it?
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Cohen kind of started late.
Well, Iron and Wine, that's a random one, but he was like 44 when he
Sting
started.
was like
Sting,
36
There's
or
plenty.
something. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
writers, as somebody who writes and works with writers, writing is a genre of making art that tends to peak in your older age, and music tends to peak in your younger age. So for you, you still feel like you're older for it, right? Based
Yeah, I
on
feel old,
the
yeah.
average age of someone with their first album.
Oh,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
That makes sense.
Fellow kids.
You're fellow kids, which is why we're obviously the joke Dive Bar Dave comes into play. Have you been enjoying dive bars for the first time?
Dive bars are really.
You're just
great.
discovering the dive bar.
Yeah, just discover. They're talking about because I sent them a picture of me doing karaoke at a dive bar recently.
Wait, did music get you back into dive bars, or did dates get you back into dive bars?
I just went to a dive bar.
No. Dive Bar Dave is a joke that we've had.